Hello and welcome back to some epic League of Legends action featuring TSM and Curse.eu. Really looking forward to this game, Paul. So we were having a little discussion in the break as to who we thought had the best team composition overall. I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest. I know you have more of a decisive kind of opinion, but I'm of the opinion that it's going to be extremely close. I can't really call it either way, but why not explain what your thoughts are right now?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go along with the same. It's very close because it's just as we were talking about. They have a nice wombo combo with the Malphite going in with his ultimate, and then Orianna with the ball already on Malphite, popping a shockwave in perfect position because he's positioned her ball for her. On the flip side, you have Maokai, which we're talking about, which is pretty much the soft counter to, or pretty much a pretty hard counter when it comes to AoE. Then again, they have their own AoE team. It's just back and forth those team fights. It's so even, and what I'm interested about is seeing how TSM handle Angush at top, just pushing all day, farming behind that turret, which you'll most likely do. Then again, he's against a very hard pusher, Vladimir. Yeah, I'm just interested to see how they deal with that guy at top.
Well, a bit of a body blow actually for Reginald from TSM, being forced to flash away. He was getting fairly pushed aggressively from Curse.eu and was forced to flash over the wall next to Baron Pit. So that flash is going to be down for the conceivable future in mid, and that could give Malphite a bit of extra kind of incentive to go ahead and push into that mid lane and try and pick up first blood with ganking. Either way, TSM lurking around the top river in Tribush and the bush itself. And in the meantime, Maokai will be going onto the Wolves. So fairly slow opening, except for that flash being burnt. Looks like TSM are going to come in and invade, though, from the blue side. 1 minute 40, of course, the Wolves are going to respawn. And at 1 minute 55, the blue will spawn. So TSM are waiting for the right moment to strike here. It's going to be a 3 versus 3. In comes your honor ball. It's going to give some vision onto TSM. So Curse.eu know exactly what is going on. There is also a ward down from TSM. Important to note that on the blue buff itself. But looks like still Chaos and X Special are going to be hanging around. And looks like we're going to have an inverted laning phase once again here with the AD and support going top and allowing Vladimir to go bot lane against Ezreal and Soraka. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and once again, we're trying to see if they would change it up, and they've actually stopped Malphite from taking blue. That's a massive hit, and now Maokai's way ahead of him. Like, obviously they're slightly behind on the laning because they've lost a couple CS, but it's not very much. But Maokai, he's way ahead of Malphite right now, and Malphite without blue's got crappy clear.
Oh, top lane Angush could be going down here. Ignite has been popped. Chaos is in hot pursuit. Will get the kill with the Phosphorus Bomb Q. So we mentioned before this game, how will TSM counter Angush's aggressiveness? Answer, stick your AD and support at top lane. Good luck trying to push past the tower with that, Angush.
Yeah, that was clever, and then he killed him, which doesn't add insult to injury. And Maokai, he's level 3, he's got the clearing ability, and he'll be getting a second point in the sapling, his clear ability, that's usually what you do, and he'll be taking that red buff. Usually you take it at level 3, because it's a lot easier, it doesn't hurt you as much, because you have more HP, you have more stats, you have the clearing ability, and he won't have to pop as many pots, and plus he's got the Rigor Pendant as well. So he'll be ganking pretty soon after that when he hits 4. He can, right now, he could go for a gank, or he'd go for his Wraiths, and then pick up level 4. Looks like he's going to go for a gank.
Oh man, Angush is in such a horrific position here. He's been spammed down from Chaos to about 3 bars of health, chugging through his health pots, but here comes Maokai. There could be a potential tower dive on track, but have a quick look at Curse.eu. They've been spotted on blue. That's exactly the reason that ward was put down previously. Alistair starts to move on in. Both teams are now aware of each other's positions. Clarissa could be getting caught out. The pulverize comes in. Reggie and also Odd One have came up, and look how quickly Soraka was exploded from the entire lineup of TSM. In the meantime, though, Morgana going to get a lot of damage from Angush, who picks up the kill actually. All by himself, now trying to turn this one back on. Extinct comes around the corner, onto Chaos. Ignite has been popped. Is it going to be enough damage? More than likely, yes it will. X Special is now getting popped down from the rest of Curse.eu, and that definitely backfired for TSM, as surely Odd One will be following suit with another death, and Angush picks up a double kill, 3 kills overall. So what looked to be a really sublime gank from TSM quickly turned sour, and they now find themselves 4-2 behind.
Wow, that was amazing. They know they have to shut down Anguish, but there was just great reaction from Curse basically, which completely turned it around. And Clarissa's now at top, going to be supporting that Anguish along with Kelx and X Special. So it's going to be a 2 vs 2 lane. Sleper's going to be down bottom along with Dyrus. And he should be able to handle it. He's not like Yorick to the point where he'll completely destroy your AD carry. And plus he's a proc carry, so he's got extra strength this time round.
Just going back to that gank, it seemed to me that Curse.eu almost read the mind of TSM. They were up there in a heartbeat, prime positioning, and that's going to give Anguish a lot of help now. He's level 5, he has double buff, and he's really just got out of jail for free there, because remember, he was the recipient of First Blood. 2 versus 1, Chaos picks it up. It was looking really, really horrific from his position. But now, not quite as much. He has 1,500 gold in his back pocket to spend. He has just recalled back to spawn. So which route is he going to go at top lane? Is he going to go for gold per 10? Is he going to go for a Wit's End? Looks to be Wit's End. We have a recurve bow and a null magic mantle coming out from him. So nice stuff from Anguish right off the bat. 6 minutes in, and he's looking strong.
And if you look at it, he's already looking towards the mid game. In fact, they're going to swap it up, going to put Ezreal top by himself against an AD carry and support. And then you have Anguish going bottom with that Soraka, probably going to be recalling soon as well. Clarissa only level 2, 6 minutes into the game. Wow, he's now turned level 3. So he's actually building towards that Wit's End, so he's going to be really strong against Vladimir and then scale really well into mid game because it's a double AP combination. From being 1 kill down, first blooded, he's now got the most gold in the game.
Exactly. And that's what one team fight can kick off for you. Sorry, Bass, what do you say? Bass is just talking. He's like, I didn't know my mic was muted. Whoops. Either way, let's get back into the action. Top lane, Maokai is coming up once again. Odd one, hungry for some kills. This time it's going to be Slapper. So they have moved it around. Anguish bot, Slapper top. And they have painted a bullseye on Slapper's backside. Will they be coming up for the gank right here, right now? Looking likely the creep wave comes in. Odd one from the side. Arcane Shift has been used, but the Twisted Advance is going to catch up with him. Flash also popped. That could have given enough distance to save them. Now I'm going to try and turn the tides. The hunters become the hunted. Odd one's taking a lot of damage. You have Malphite coming up from the jungle. You also have Orianna from mid. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch up. So not a great deal ends up happening at the end of that encounter, which seemed to promise so much action.
Yeah, but it was just great reaction, just warding them off, because they have a lot of early game power. As you can see, they have the 2 CC Kings, they have Maokai, and they have Alistair. So much CC, you know they're going to be going for those ganks, and Curse have responded to this, and it's like, okay, we know what you're going to do. We're going to be really fast, hot on our feet, and then as soon as you go for that gank, we're going to respond immediately. And that's the mindset they came into the game with, and it's working out for them really well.
Yeah, the game has now come full circle. You have the 2 top players at bot, and the 4 bot players at top. So it has came full circle. Inverted lanes for the win. Anguish now facing off against Vladimir once again. Does have the recurve bow alongside the null magic mantle, so it's going to be negating some of that damage that Dyrus is throwing out. And at top lane, let's have a quick look at the CS. You're going to have on Corki 54 and Ezreal 54. Cannot be closer. Item builds identical on top of that, just the 1 health pot separating them. Slapper has 2, Corki has 1. Mid lane, Extinct with 56 creep score, 2 Doran's rings, a null magic mantle, and boots of speed. Morgana on the other side has 60 creep score and 1 Doran's ring, so she should have a fair amount of gold to spend. Yes, 1,220 at her disposal. Blue has gone down now to Reginald, courtesy of Odd One, and some pings are coming up from Curse.eu towards the river, but not a great deal's happening. Back to the farming phase once again.
A lot of wards coming out from Curse.eu, and it looks like they're just looking to be aggressive. They've got the small advantage, and they're looking to push it, put down those aggressive wards, make sure they've got the vision everywhere, and then force those objectives. And it looks like to be what they're trying to do. 9 minutes into the game, and usually we see that Drake in just a couple minutes, and he might be forcing that one. Right now, I get the feeling that they're stronger. They have a couple more kills. They're ahead on gold. However, it is a double AP composition. But on the flip side, again, we've been talking about the Orianna and the Malphite combo, and of course, Shyvan's going to be doing work with almost the Wit's End herself, and she's pretty significantly far ahead of everyone on the playing field right now. So, yeah, they're in a good position to possibly go for this team fight if they want to do it.
Yes, and you are going to have Shyvana with 2 null magic mantles, so really trying to stop that magic damage from coming in from Dyrus. And interestingly enough, with the inverted combinations, in fact, hold that thought just for a sec, because Maluno has snaked his way towards top lane. I'll just interrupt myself if he actually pushes in. There's a potential possibility that he's going to engage underneath this tower with his ultimate, but they need to be careful because Odd One is en route towards top, coming through the wraiths. In fact, looks like he's just going to go ward and then go back towards his mid lane. So Maluno's being very, very passive at the moment, being patient, waiting for the opportune moment to strike, to pop out, and that's going to be the case right there. Catches both, lots and lots of burst damage. The True Shot Barrage just missing Chaos, and that would have picked up the kill. Headbutt back onto the tower. Soraka trying everything she can to keep his Luno alive. Does manage to do so, and Ezreal picks up the pieces on towards Alistar. Could have been a double kill if that True Shot Barrage landed. Not to be the case. Meanwhile, at bot lane, Hemoplague is about to pop off, and Anguish is going to go down. 2 null magic mantles does not make a difference against Dyrus when he's in this kind of mood. And that's going to be the 5-for-3 scoreline coming up. Odd One is also chilling out in the mid bush, but Orianna's going to go for blue.
Wow, that was crazy. 3 kills up on Dyrus, and he still gets a kill. He didn't even have Hextech Revolver for the sustain. He's got the Hextech now, and he's got the Giant's Belt for extra AP and health because of his passive. That was amazing. I'm surprised that he actually let himself get killed, and he wasn't even close to death himself, that being on Dyrus's part. So, pretty crazy, and they're definitely not down and out of this one. So, no doom and gloom at all.
Oh, very much. The game's still in its infancy at the moment. 14.6k to 14.1. Very close on goal difference. As you said as well, Dragon is going to become more and more of an influential aspect to this game. But I was going to ask you this before. With the lanes being inverted, with the two support and ADs at top now, obviously that's going to make Dragon something that's less likely to happen over the course of the first 20 minutes.
Correct, and obviously it's interesting to see if they'll swap this one up, and they're actually not. The thing is, you're going to have 3 versus 3, like it's still going to happen, but actually meanwhile at bottom...
At bot we do have some action from Anguish popping his Dragon's Descent, but nothing really going to bother Dyrus too much. Maybe trying to force a bit of gold to pick up his Wit's End there. Yeah, Anguish has 836, of course you need 700 to finish off your Wit's End from his position, and he will be picking it up with 4 health pots on top of it. Meantime at top lane, Special did get tagged up a couple times from Slapper, but going to heal himself back up with Triumphant Roar, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, Dyrus is having a really nice game here. 92 creep score to Anguish's 64, but remember that Anguish has 6 kills accredited to his name. Oh, we are going to have some action in mid as well, as Reggie, very low health, but here comes Odd One from the side. Extinct trying his best to escape. There's the unstoppable force courtesy of Maluno. Now going to return fire back onto towards Odd One. Is he tanky enough to survive this? No, he's not. Shyvana comes in and finishes him off with the assist courtesy of Maluno and Extinct. And a couple pings in mid just for good measure, but Dyrus is too late to the party. And Odd One is going to have to sit on the bench for the next 16 seconds.
Yeah, usually the reason you put AD carry and support bottom is purely because Anguish is trying to kill Dyrus. No, that's not the reason. Because you actually have the sustained damage to actually take those objectives. But because the AD carries top, they don't have the sustained damage. Mid are both sort of burst casters anyway, so it's very difficult to actually kill that Drake. So as you said, that Drake fight is not going to happen for longer than usual, basically. And it's already 13 minutes, well past the usual sell-by date on Drake, at least that first Drake. And basically, I think both teams are a bit scared of each other right now. They both have great team fighting teams, so neither team really know who has the real advantage.
Corki is flashing up red at top. But yeah, you're completely right. Both teams are obviously a bit wary of each other. Here comes Maluno at top lane as well. Is he going to go for another tower dive? Well, you can't really do too much because Unstoppable Force has about half of its cooldown remaining. And I have no doubts that had it have been up, Chaos would have been 6 foot under and dead. So Maluno's going to go back towards his own jungle in the meantime. Pretty much just a farming frenzy at bot again. Anguish did pick up that kill before onto Odd One, so now has 4 for 2. But let's have a look at the overall goal between these two. Even though Anguish has 4 kills, Dyrus is farming so well that he's just 180 gold behind right now. Which is impressive when you consider how many of the kills Anguish has picked up so far in this game.
Yeah, man, the goal difference really isn't big at all, meaning that the team fights are still going to be very, very even. And obviously it's centered on Shyvana, but as you said, it's so even to the point where Vladimir is almost at the same point as Shyvana, even with only 1 kill, and he's itemizing really well as well. yeah, it's just waiting for that team fight to happen. All the tension is just mounting up and you're just waiting for it to happen. So far, it's only going to be small picks and just those ganks from the jungler. And obviously, I haven't really seen Maokai do too much this game, considering he is a ganking jungler. He hasn't ganked all that much in comparison to Malphite, who generally isn't pre-6.
Very true, actually. If you compare, for example, Dedrian's I nearly said Malphite, Maokai, to Odd1's Maokai today, Dedrian was ganking mid over and over and over again. But Orianna gets a speed up. She also has Protect, and she also have to factor in that we have the AD and support at top. So things are kind of in a different position altogether. Having said that, though, Drake is being started from TSM. And Israel is a bit slow. Going to fire off the True Shot Barrage. This is going to be able to steal the Dragon. No, it won't. Would have gave them vision for a couple of seconds. Balluno comes in, will steal the Dragon, and does a lot of damage. In the meantime, Shockwave popped off from Orianna. What about that for an engage? Malphite's going to pick up the kill on towards Renegade. Odd1. Lots of damage being exchanged. Morgana goes down. Hemoplay's going to pop. How many kills will it pick up? The answer is just the one, courtesy of Corki. Orianna goes back on towards Alistair. This is a 4-for-1 exchange, and on top of that, Curse.eu picks up the Dragon. Oh my god, Balluno, I think I actually want to marry you. That was awesome.
That was incredible, and he escaped. Kaok's now in a bad position. Extinct on low health, however, got to be careful. Wants to protect. Anguish on the hunt, trying to pick up this kill. But it was kind of funny because he flashed over to try and kill Corki and Vlad, and at the exact moment they both just swapped positions with the flashes. And it's actually, I think he's going to escape. Yeah, they can't really hunt this one down. So he's out of there, and they're just pinging it down, and he's out of there. 4 for 1, and that was an amazing engage, an amazing steal, all in one. It was incredible. That was just a perfect team fight. TSM forced that, and they were basically just trying to pick the Drake up before they could react, because they knew, like, our top lane, that's so confusing, isn't it? The bottom lane was top lane.
Yeah.
So their bottom lane, who was at top, were coming back down to bottom to try and take Drake. It's like, okay, they've just based, so they're going to be going back to top. We've got like a good 10 seconds until they arrive. But they immediately smelt it out, and meanwhile in mid, Renegade going to straight onto Extinct with the Arcane Smash, looking to pick up this kill. They don't really have the mana or cooldowns to do so. Now taking a lot of damage from turret. Maluna going to turn this one around, and he will be out of there. Nice counter gank will save Orianna right there. But going back to that point on Drake, they reacted almost immediately, and they had their Spider-Man... Spidey-Man? Yeah. Spiders... Wow. Wow. That is incredible dirt on my part. But they knew what was happening, basically. I'm not even going to use that analogy, it's fine. So, they knew what was happening, and they reacted immediately, and they have that mindset like we were talking before. They came into this game with the mindset that we need to react immediately to the fast maneuvers of TSM, and they've done that perfectly. So there's nothing more to say. Great play.
Well, oh my god, look at the damage from Orianna, bursting X special down to less than half HP. Could be going back in once again. Protection has been used. Here comes the Shockwave. Nice flash from X special. Chaos does get caught off. In the meantime, Reggie will be moving his way down through the jungle. But he needs to be careful because he's actually overextending now, walking into no man's land. He's put up the black shield. Kind of caught in two minds. Here comes Anguish from the side. He's going to pop off the Soul Shackles. Yes, he will. Could actually be picking up one kill. At least Dragon's Descent has been popped. Lots of tank ability there from Anguish. But here comes the cavalry. Maluno jumping through. They're going to pick up the double kill onto both Chaos and Reggie. And I'm kind of a bit confused why Reggie went in there. Surely they'd have known that Maluno would have been lurking around the corner with his ultimate off cooldown.
Oh, that was very odd. And once again, we see the underdog looking in a good position for the victory. Once again. Crazy. So, Curse.eu just right on top of their game right now. So they're going to be pushing down mid. I don't really think that Odd1 can stop them by himself, considering he doesn't output a lot of damage. He has a lot of base damage. I mean, his sapling toss is the highest base damage in the game, but it's just not really enough to stop them from taking that. And there we go. Curse.eu, top form.
I think that Reggie was under the assumption, in fact, hold up for a second, because Dyrus is way behind enemy lines, but he is going to get away with Sanguine Pool. I think Reggie was under the assumption that his Soul Shackles would have finished Anguish off, but look at Anguish's items. Wit's End and Mercury Treads, plus he popped his ultimate. He used the Dragon's Descent, which will give Shyvana extra magic resist by 15. That was enough just and only just by the skin of his teeth to survive the Soul Shackle exploding. And straight after that, well, the rest is history. Maluno came in, the Unstoppable Force doing more than enough to pick up the kill. So it's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, surely Reginald would have known in that situation that the jungler from Curse.eu was missing and could have been anywhere on the map, more than likely following towards them.
Yeah, and that's even taking into account the fantastic heal bait from Clarissa with the Wish. It was like, okay, so the end of my Soul Shackles is going to finish him off, therefore I'll stay in and commit, and then it will be a 2 versus 1. Clarissa pops ultimate when he's still alive, still 2 versus 2, and then it just backfired on them. It was just perfect play from everyone, and I think actually Clarissa got them that kill, because it was just a bait, and that's what you can do with those heals, it's just baiting.
Very true. And again, you know, Soraka has a global influence with Wish. Doesn't matter where she is, just pop that off, no problems, good to go. So, yeah, Maluno has had a brilliant game so far. Let's be honest. Before the Drake steal, the engage on top of that, hitting everybody. Actually started off with Slapper though. He ultimated down. He true shot barrage from around the mid bush. He was out of position, wanted vision on the Drake, did a lot of damage to Drake, and also did enough damage to a lot of the TSM players to allow Maluno to jump on in there and pick up the kills. So it was kind of a nicely wrapped goodie bag from Curse.eu there, all chiming in together, all pulling in the same direction for the same goal, and that was an ace or thereabouts and a dragon on top of it. So you can see that Maluno and also Extinct are hanging around the Drake area. It's due up pretty soon. It was taken down at 15:23, so not too long a wait until Drake will feature once again in this game. Ezreal is at top, and well, he's just going to be hanging around there for now. So pretty slow-paced action over the last minute or two, but as soon as Drake respawns, expect to see some explosive fireworks kicking off.
You know, it looks pretty dire for them, but they're only 3k behind, and that's thanks, one, to the fact they're farming so well, about 50 farm in front of Angush right now, being Dyrus, and they have a lot of gold per 5. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and double gold per 5 on 2 characters, and that's what you basically need in this situation. Wouldn't be surprised if a couple more characters do that as well, but they're not really that far behind. It's kind of surprising considering how many global objectives have gone and the kills.
Oh, Drake is going down so quickly. They need to be careful because Malphite has his ultimate ready. He's going to go in, lands it onto both the AP and the AD, carry their beautiful ultimate, forcing Chaos away from the action. He's going to go down, separated from the herd. And in the meantime, Odd One taking a lot of damage as well with Ignite, very nearly falling. Dyrus going to try his best to pull this one back. Shockwave comes in, beautiful stuff from Orianna, but Ezreal actually picking up the kill. And now Reginald is the target. Can the assailants be picking this one up? They are stalking him down. They found their prey, and Ezreal's going to pick up his second consecutive kill, and that's the 15-5. And you know, Baron could very well be getting taken too from Curse here. It's going to be pretty much free. Morgana's down for 30 seconds, Vladimir for 20, and indeed, they're going to go for the Baron.
Yeah, the only respawn right now is for a God mode steal, and honestly, I don't think he's going to be getting there in time. He's just back at base. He had to recall. He's on way too low health, and that's going to be a free Baron, as you called it. It's just looking to be an easy victory right now for Curse. They're going to have to go with some pretty heavy throws if they want to lose this one, and I can't see them doing it. It's just looking confident right now. Very, very strong.
Everybody on Curse.eu with over 1,000 gold. Going to be spending it right now. Phage on Shyvana. Abyssal Scepter for Orianna alongside the Athene's Unholy Grail. Trinity Force has already been finished on Ezreal for quite some time. He's going to be recalling now with about 1,800 gold. Probably after finishing off this creep wave, maybe get the second one as well. But lots of items being built up. You've got an Aegis of the Legion onto Malphite alongside the Fiendish Codex. Interesting stuff from him. And on top of that, we've seen this yesterday as well, actually. We were wondering what was going on with it. You've got the Avarice Blade for Shyvana. My opinion is he's either going to sell it or go into the Ghost Blade. More than likely sell it, because he doesn't need the Philosopher's Stone. He doesn't use mana. He doesn't need the Cage's Lucky Pick because his Shyvana doesn't really run off ability power. So it makes more sense to get that critical strike chance, the 12% critical strike chance with the Avarice Blade. I can't even talk now, it's rubbing off from the Clarissa thing from you. But yeah, the 12% crit chance is much more useful for Shyvana than Philo Stone or Cage's Lucky Pick.
Yeah, we've never really gotten to that stage in the game where we've actually seen it being built or sold, so I kind of want it to get to late game just to see what he does with it. So yeah, I definitely agree. Looks like they're pushing down mid right now, and really, I suppose TSM can go for this engage, but they're 9k ahead right now. I'm not even sure if they can win this fight if they go for it. And it's just looking dire. They have a lot of poke as well. Sapling goes down, they're just on the back foot, and bottom tower looks pretty easy to pick up right now. Tier 3 turret, no problem. I think even the support can tank it at this stage. They're going to be picking up that one and maybe pushing through onto that inner turret as well.
Well, this is the strength that Baron gives you, especially if you're already ahead by quite a large margin. Is you can just split push. You can just push the lanes. You can go down to the bot, clear them out. You can go and kind of push mid and top at the same time, synchronize it nicely. And there's very little that TSM can do right now because Malphite has his ultimate off cooldown. Orianna has her ultimate off cooldown. Ezreal has his ulti. Everybody right now on Curse has their ultimates. It's a lot of AoE, it's a lot of scares, but here comes the engage actually from Reggie. Really not expecting this. Out of position, Slepper's going to go down very quickly indeed, but 2 quick back-to-back kills make that 3. Double kill coming in for Shyvana, maybe picking up the 3rd here. That's going to be the case, but it's actually Extinct that takes it. So a nice idea, I guess, but they didn't quite factor into how strong Curse.eu are now with the Baron buff. And as nicely as and quickly as they burst down Slepper, they weren't able to take down Orianna. They didn't take down Malphite or Shyvana, and they paid for it, and they've just surrendered. That through the game.
That was the king of engages, but they just got destroyed. I don't know why they fought on open ground though. Like they were nowhere near the tower, so they didn't have an advantage. They were about 10k behind. They knew they were behind, and then they went for an engage that they were definitely going to lose. Like they couldn't win that team fight, even with them being knocked up for like a second or two, and with the AoE CC, it just wasn't going to work out. And they knew that from past experience, from losing all those previous team fights.
On paper, it looked like a good engage, but there's a lot of factors that make it not quite so good. Like Baron, like how far behind they were, like the items that they were behind, and also the composition they were facing. They must have known as soon as they went in, even if you burst down the AD carrier Slapper, there's so much AOE damage that comes out from Curse.eu in that position with the Orianna Shockwave and Unstoppable Force as well coming in from Malphite. On top of that, Shyvana was incredibly fed and far ahead, so it was kind of a head-scratching moment. It was really weird. It actually lost the game at the end of the day. You could also argue that they were going to lose the game either way because they had Baron, did Curse.eu, they were pushing the side lanes, they were trying to do their best to finish off the game there and then. Maybe TSM were trying a desperation move. They were like, look guys, we're probably going to lose. It's best if we just try and make something happen here. But unfortunately, that wasn't the time and the place to do it.
Yep. Can't add anything to that one. Just, yeah, that was pretty much it.
Alright, well, I have just got an instant invite into game number 2, ladies and gents, so I don't think we'll be going for a break just yet. Just waiting for Xpecial. There he is, right on the moment. So, all 10 players in the lobby. Game number 1, of course, Curse.eu took it. Very, very confident victory, actually, at the end. It was looking a bit touch and go for a few seconds. You had the inverted lanes where I think it was Yorick at bot lane facing off against Corki and Soraka? Was it?
Corki... Oh, wow, this short-term memory, man. We had this problem yesterday as well.
Well, either way, Yorick went bot lane in his 1v2, leaving Shyvana at top lane in 1v2 as well. And it was a really difficult situation. Anguish was getting pushed heavily. It came down to that early tower engage that TSM tried. It looked like a good idea, but Curse.eu were there just at the right time, picking up a lot of kills. Shyvana got 3 kills from that engage, and that brought him back right into the game. And from there on in, Anguish was that kind of powerhouse that we all know and love him to be. He's such a good player to watch, actually. Really enjoyable to watch. And alongside, you've got the ultimate from Maluno, and also the ulti on top of that from Extinct. There's just so much capability for Curse.eu in that previous composition to burst down TSM. But the question is, Pulse, do you think they're going to rinse and repeat and go for a similar comp? Or do you think they're going to try something completely different here?
Well, they were on top form, but basically both of those comps were pretty similar in the way that they had really, really nice mid games. So, yeah, it was just... Yeah, it was difficult. It was just very, very difficult all over the place. It was pretty similar comp. It was just down to who played better. And honestly, they can go for the same comp. Both teams can go for the same comp, but it's very possible that you're going to have a repeat of last game, just no matter how it works.
Well, there's just a couple of small decisions that ended up paying pretty badly for TSM. For example, the aforementioned tower dive at, I think it was like level 2 they went for the tower dive. I think Odd One was level 4, Reggie was like 2 or 3, and also their top player was like level 2 or 3. So it was kind of risky, and it didn't pay off because Curse.eu were there in time. So it's them kind of slight mishaps. Also, you have to give a lot of praise also to Maluno, because that steal on Drake and ultimately the team victory there was huge as well. That was at that kind of fulcrum point that really seesawy moment in the game that maybe if TSM won that team fight and took Drake, it could have been a whole different story that was written. But there, Maluna goes in with his ulti. He goes in hard and very fast. The rest of his team follow him up, and they get the ace, and they lose like one player, I think. So it's them kind of moments that really change a game.